Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Catalina Francesca and this is KaleidoscopeKat, where I talk about my journey with tarot and mostly with tarot. I haven't yet gotten into much of the others, into the tea leaves and transformation side of things. So this is another weekly working decks video where I talk about the decks that I worked with this week. So this week I worked with the Ancestral Path Tarot by Cuccia-Watts. I'm fairly certain I'm pronouncing that correctly, but if I'm not, I'm really sorry. This deck is gorgeous and also huge. The cards are large enough that when I shuffle them, I have to shuffle them like side to side rather than end to end, and that is riffle shuffling or rifle shuffling. I'm not entirely certain how that is pronounced. So anyways, I do have to shuffle them side to side rather than end to end when I do that. And that is how I clear my cards of any energies from previous readings. So the art in these cards is just totally gorgeous. This is I'm gonna not hold the whole deck at a time. So this is the Seven of Cups, the Queen of Sacred Circles, the Six of Swords, Princess of Staves, the Nine of Swords, the Emperor. I love this Emperor. The Three of Swords, King of Swords, the Tower. This Tower card is fantastic and I love it. The Fool. So some people have said that they do not like this Fool card. And while I can understand that, I personally totally love it, because to me this really allows me as the person, as the reader, and also as a querent to really put myself into the deck. And you know, I too have short curly hair, so there's that as well. So the four suits in this deck are from, actually, this deck comes with this little staple bound, like little white book that has like a decent amount of information in it, actually. But okay, so here it is. The four suits depict representative cultures of four racial groups: Japanese swords, Egyptian staves, British cups, and Native American sacred circles. Each culture is portrayed during a distinct historical epoch. Hope that's pronounced correctly. The Japanese feudal era, the Egyptian 19th dynasty of Ramses II, Arthurian Britain, and post-contact America. And then so it's central myths or legends of these racial groups serve as a backdrop to each suit and trace paths our ancestors forged in shaping their worldview. And I will admit I have not really done my homework in terms of looking up these myths, so I could have done more in terms of actually looking up the myths, and I think that that would probably be helpful. So this is the Two of Cups with Arthur and Guinevere. King of Cups, obviously Arthur. I don't know, I have kind of always imagined Arthur, the Princess of Cups with Morgan Le Fay. Kind of always imagined, and I'm not sure why, but I've kind of always imagined Arthur as being like, having like sort of like dark blonde hair. I'm not sure why, but it's nice to have him have brown hair in this, I guess, if that makes sense. This is Isis as the Queen of Staves. the Hermit. I totally love this 9 of Sacred Circles, 9 of Pentacles deal. This Strength card also is like so gorgeous. I think did I get Strength this week? No, I don't think I got Strength this week, but sometimes when I'm at work and I don't have much to do, I will pull out my tarot deck and just sort of shuffle through it and look at the art. Star also I love. Super, super awkward. This is Arthur, Lancelot, and Guinevere. I kind of don't want to say it, but they look so much, Guinevere and Lancelot look so much like siblings in this that they kind of give me like Lannister twins vibes in not a great way. Let's see. This Justice card I totally love. I'm not sure what about it. I love that her eyes are covered. The sword is like across her lap, which is different than the sort of usual imagery of Justice. But there's also up at the top of her chair a yin yang and the sign of Libra. I did get this. Did I get this Judgment card? This is the Judgment card. I don't think I feel like I got it for something, but I am not seeing it. Well, that's interesting. I feel like I got it for something, but I'm not sure. This is the Hierophant. What I'm looking at over here, by the way, is my weekly working decks notebook, which I have set up for the beginning of next week. But this is this week's. So I do a particular spread at the beginning of each week, which I am actually going to share in this video. So, oh no, I did get Judgment. I got it for my weekly working deck spread. The way that I do that spread is it is a star-shaped spread, and so it's like card 1, card 2, card 3, card 4, and card 5. And card 1 is what can we accomplish together this week. Card 2 is what should I do to make that happen. Card 3 is how are you feeling this week. Card 4 is how can we grow together this week and what will help our relationship grow. And card 5 is what can I expect from you this week. And this is a spread I made up myself, and I have found it to be pretty helpful. I also do an oracle spread. So let's talk about what oracle deck I was working with this week. Oh my god, it's like 9 minutes. So the oracle spread that I do is just 2 cards, and it is card 1, how can I best work with you this week, and card 2, what can I learn from you this week. And this week I was working with the Angels and Ancestors oracle cards by Kyle Gray with artwork by Lily Moses. So for this deck, the artwork is by Julie Cuccia-Watts. The text for this thing is by Tracy Hoover. I did find going back to this, I did find some of my my card pulls a little bit confusing, which I think is partly just because I don't have the I don't have the big guidebook, which is sadly out of print. So it's out of print, and I looked, so I don't like buying books from Amazon, for many reasons. But I looked like everywhere else and could not find it. And so Amazon is like the one place where it is possible to get this guidebook. And so I have ordered that. But because it was kind of tricky, and I am about actually to go, so I live in Seattle and I go to college in Portland, and I'm actually about to go back to Portland for my last semester of college. And so I've decided that this deck will be staying at home, and I will be rewarding myself for the semester with the Ancestral Path Tarot guidebook as sort of like a Christmas present to myself. Back to the Oracle cards. I really like these cards. So I do, they shuffle, they riffle shuffle. Still not sure how the word is pronounced. They riffle shuffle really nicely. They stick together a little bit when I overhand shuffle them, in a way that I am not super fond of. So right now they actually smell a lot like Lily of the Valley talcum powder, because I kind of rubbed that all over them to help them like slip past each other better, and that has helped. They still stick together a little bit in a way that I'm not loving. So this deck actually also will be staying at home, with a few of my other decks. But the majority of my decks will be coming with me. And I'll be living with my aunt and uncle this coming semester. So let's show you some cards. So these cards are, okay. When I split the deck, this one just came up, and I'm like, I'm Catholic. I don't know, maybe he just decided to name this great teacher because he didn't want to offend people, but to me, this totally looks like it is meant to be Jesus with the dove of the Holy Spirit. Like, please, tell me I'm wrong, because I am pretty confident about that. So actually the Shaolin Master was one of the cards that I got this week. Mirror Guardian. So it has a group of guardians, like the Mirror Guardian. It has a group of just like ancestors, I guess. So like this Hunter and Shaolin Master and Great Teacher, and it has sort of symbols like the sun and seasons like spring. So here's the stag, which is another one of those symbols. The High Priest. There's also a High Priestess card, and they are sort of standing facing each other, which is pretty cool. Then we have Air Guardian and Guardian Angel. Oh, and here is the High Priestess. Moon. Take note of intuitive messages. This is another of the cards that I got this week. So High Priestess was actually one of my weekly working deck spread cards. This was a card that I got for one of my daily pulls. So was this one, I think. Let's see, I totally love this Knight, Be Brave and Honest, with the roses in the background. So we have Sage, Be Devoted and Committed. I actually forgot to do my I forgot to do my daily draws on Thursday of this week, which, oops, just forgot. It happens. Let's see. I also got this Hermit. Did I get Hermit at some point? I feel like I did. Definitely got this Traveler card, which is so gorgeous. So the artwork for these cards is just beautiful. The cardstock is nice. They're matte. I really appreciate that the Magic Guardian is a woman of color. I mean, looks like a woman, definitely of color. Wondering if, nope, okay, I must have passed the sage. Anyway, so that's the decks that I worked with this past week. This deck comes with a nice, this deck comes with a nice, decent guidebook. Definitely more material than the little white book for the for this one. The other thing that I do is I have to grab it. Sorry for the noises my chair makes, by the way. It's not amazing. So this is my bullet journal. So in the back of this, in the pocket in the back, I keep my my daily card pulls. And that is something that I started doing when I was at school. Although at that point I was not doing weekly working decks. I was doing something a little bit different. So today my cards that I got were the Empress and the Elder. And so I am really working on, this is my last Sunday at home. So I'm really working on like soaking up the abundance that I have here, and like the abundance of love that I have in my community at church. Like I said, I'm Catholic, so that is a big part of my path. Anyways, the decks that I will be working with this upcoming week are the Tarot Muka, which I have done a weekly working deck video on before, but I thought it would pair really nicely with the Vintage Wisdom Oracle, which is one that is newer to my collection and totally gorgeous. So I'm going to, this video is getting kind of long, so I'm just going to leave it there. Yeah, but I had a great time with the Ancestral Path and Angels and Ancestors decks this week, and I'm looking forward to talking to you again next week, which I will be filming from my bedroom in Portland, so I'm looking forward to that as well. Okay, goodbye for now, and I will talk to you again next week.